Our first commentary this morning takes us to the Ore-Benin Expressway, where hours of heavy rainfall left a section of one of Nigeria's most vital highways completely submerged, triggering the kind of gridlock that has sadly become all too familiar on that road.
And that's really where we have to start, because for anyone stuck in that traffic, it wasn't just an inconvenience. Passengers were seen abandoning their vehicles to wait by the roadside. Drivers were creeping through submerged sections, fearing accidents and breakdowns, and traffic backed up for kilometers on end. Now, some travelers reportedly spent upwards of 6 to 8 hours trying to get through a stretch of road that should take just about a couple of minutes. Well, the reaction online wasn't shock. It was basically exhaustion, because this road has been failing travelers for over 2 decades now. Not occasionally, but as a recurring, almost seasonal event. We're talking about the same corridor, the same flooding scenes, and it dates as back as 2010. Resurfaced again in 2023, and now again in July 2026.
You need to connect with us on our YouTube channel right now for you to understand the level of traffic this has cost commuters on standstill, the waters on the road, even some VIPs on the road as well are stocked. But then let's actually put some history behind that frustration, because it's staggering. This road, the Benin Ore-Shagamu Expressway, was actually Nigeria's very first federal trunk road. Constructed between 1962 and 1963, stretches nearly 492 kilometers, connecting Benin City through Ore to Shagamu and onwards to Lagos. This is quite literally one of the oldest and most foundational highways in the country, and very functional, because there are a lot of commuters who ply that road on a daily. Traders, businessmen, those who are going to do their work and their offices in Lagos and even in Benin City. So it's connecting a lot of commuters.
Well, thank you for taking us through that little history, Marian. Back in 2004, the government launched what it called Operation 500 Roads to rehabilitate over 26,000 kilometers of road nationwide, with the Benin Shagamu included. Later that same year, we had Operation 1000 Roads, which covered another 32,000 kilometers. Now, in 2009 alone, a 9.7 billion naira contract was awarded just for the Ovosore section, part of a broader 376.4 billion naira nationwide road package.
And in fact, in 2007, the then Minister of Transportation, Desiani Alisi Madukwe, reportedly broke down in tears when she visited the road and saw its condition firsthand. That's how bad things had gotten. And even after hundreds of billions of naira had already been spent and allocated as we announced to the repair of that road, we are still here struggling with the roads. Now, fast forward to more recent times, and the pattern hasn't really changed that much. Just last year, the Federal Executive Council approved 187 billion naira for the completion of the remaining 96 kilometers of the Benin-Shagamu Expressway alone. That's on top of everything spent before it. And yet, here we are again this week, watching the exact same stretch go completely underwater. So which raises an uncomfortable but necessary question: where exactly is all this investment translating into results? When are we going to see them? Because money is clearly being spent, contract after contract being allocated to contractors, administration after administration, but the fundamental vulnerability of this road to flooding hasn't gone away. So all of this allocation, 187 billion naira, just recently, we are not looking at the years of monies that have been allocated on the same road, and we are still battling the same problem. Does this road have coconut head that we cannot even crack at this point?
Well, let's also look at the bigger picture, Marian. There are probably several other roads with coconut head, because this isn't just an Ore-Benin problem. It's indeed a national one. The Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency has warned that 2026 carries a high risk of widespread flooding, with over 14,000 communities across 33 states and the FCT classified at high or moderate risk. Edo State specifically, which is at the at the heart of the corridor of this crisis, was flagged in NISA's own advisory. And I mean, Nigerians don't need to be reminded of what can happen when these warnings are ignored. In 2022, the country experienced its worst flooding disaster in more than a decade. Over 600 people died. More than 1.4 million people were displaced from their homes, and close to 440,000 hectares of farmland, enough to feed entire regions, was destroyed. That is the scale of what is at stake when flood preparedness fails. And we have also had our fair share of victims from flooding incidents this year. Not too long ago, we had the State Emergency Management Agency director in charge of Cross River, if I'm not mistaken, who spoke to some of the incidents in his state where, in fact, we had some lives who were lost in those flooding incidents. So this is not peculiar to this particular road. And there's also the frustrating aspect of this, the fact that forecasting some of these things has actually gotten quite good.
Yeah.
We have the NIMET, we have the Hydrological Services Agency always coming out with these advisories. So more or less getting in front of the situation. But what now happens when they give out these advisories, they give out these warnings?
And nothing is
the
done.
People who are supposed to take it up and then run with it and see what they can do to mitigate the risk of flooding for properties and lives, it seems they're not doing as much as they should be doing. Now, NISA's flood advisories have topped 80% accuracy. 80%. These aren't vague guesses anymore. They're precise, data-driven warnings issued months in advance of rainy season. So all of this data that's been accumulated is off the back of several factors that could increase the risk of flooding. So the question is, are the necessary agencies, the relevant agencies, doing what they should, when these advisories are put out there?
It's one thing to send out advisories and advise Nigerians to brace up for the flooding that's incoming. There's another thing to be prepared to help the situation when eventually that happens, right? But your contribution are very much welcome at this point. You can let us know your thoughts as well via the text. Text us. Where do you think we're getting it wrong? Years and years and years of monies be allocated, contracts being allocated to contractors, monies have been paid, and we still have this road
project.
For the same project, same road, for the same situation, and the situation doesn't seem to go away. It's not better. The same Ore-Benin Expressway, Shagamu Expressway is still having the same problem years after years. Administration in, administration out, we allocate monies. The recent one is 187 billion naira has been allocated, and yet we still don't have it. So Nigerians, where do you think we are getting it wrong? We are the people who ply that road. If you're going to visit your loved one in Benin and you're going to ply through roads, you're going to pass through that place. From Lagos, if you're going to go through even from Abuja, you follow that road as well. Even if you don't, if you're going to have someone do something there for you, you're still going to use that road. So where are we getting it wrong? Why haven't we seen results, better results? The roads are covered with water. The road itself is bad, and then you now have water covering it. How do you not even know the bad spots? How do you navigate your way on that road? And then there's a very heavy gridlock on the road. So where are we getting it wrong? What have we not done right? Your contribution are very much welcome. Please text us on WhatsApp. Text us on the SMS. It is the same number. If you're listening to us via the radio, it's Real 99.3 FM. On YouTube, go on YouTube, see all of these videos and understand the level of difficulty road users have to go through passing this way. Because, I mean, if you look at it, experts have warned that there's going to be flood. A lot of things have been said. There's been advisory being sent out. So the failure here is not in prediction. It's in response. And we are seeing that exact same pattern happen year in, year out, administration in, administration out. I mean, it plays out in other states as well. I mean, Lagos deals with flash flooding almost every rainy season, particularly around Lekki and Naija. Bayelsa and other Niger Delta states, face river flooding annually because of their proximity to the Niger and Benue system. Even states like Kogi, Anambra, Ebonyi recorded unusual, early flooding this year, catching a local drainage system completely unprepared. In some states, the drainage system is so poor, So how are we even gearing up and building ourselves stronger if we keep allocating money? Who are the monitoring team that go out there to monitor that, oh, the government have rolled out these monies, right? We've sent out this money, we've allocated this project to contractor A. Who are the monitoring team that we've sent out to make sure that contractor A is doing the job we've sent this money to do? And when this monitoring team land, are we just going there to collect money from the contractor to also say, guy, Alpha, we don't come, give us transport fare? But from the government, you were also being equipped, mobilized to go for that inspection. But you go for inspection, collect money, and you go back home and you tick your box to say, oh, he's working, because he has given you money. All of these are also contributing to why these roads are not working.
Almost 100 billion naira that's been disbursed to ecological funds in states. This is not about road construction,
right,
or what. This is for ecological purposes, money that's specifically meant to address the issue of flooding, erosion, and related environmental risks. Where you've pointed out some of the states that are facing a similar problem as well. And that's even contributing factors that's making the whole situation even more intense. We're talking climate change. It's, in fact, a global conversation at this point. There's also the issue of poor road engineering, sections of highway built without adequate elevation or drainage capacity for terrain that is naturally low-lying and flood-prone, to begin with. Similar situation in Lagos, similar situation in Cross River. And third, we have a consistent gap between when warnings are issued and when authorities actually act on them. And that's the one that seems to be recurring with regards to this particular issue. Let's not forget just how much this road, this particular one now, we're highlighting it. Like we said, there's a bigger picture where several other roads and communities are facing this problem. But perhaps this is important because we're talking about a major highway. It doesn't just carry passengers, it carries fuel, petroleum products, a whole lot from depots in Lagos to Warri, Port Harcourt, and communities across the south.
So imagine if you can't get trucks, ply that road smoothly. What happens to the people on the other end of it?
The last time there was a flood in 2022, the one that about 600 people lost their lives, and I think it was the Lokoja-Abuja highway. In fact, the resultant effect is that we had an increase in the price of food at some point because
you can't have
the farmers are not coming through. The transporters increased first because they have to find alternative routes
to get petrol.
Exactly. So these are some of the implications of issues like this when it's not addressed.
I hope it is addressed. Like we said, your thoughts are very much welcome. This road connects not just human beings, it connects traders, it connects businesses, it connects the source of livelihoods, it connects the ease of living in your country. Petrol, food, materials for your building, your loved ones, you need to see your loved ones who are traveling. Now imagine those who have been on the road yesterday. Some are still stuck there till this morning. Some had to sleep on that road because you can't move past it. The water is so much and you can't even identify the bad spots on the road because first off, the road itself, it's not good. And then you now have flood covering the roads that's not good. So how do you even move past it? So travelers stuck on that road yesterday were well within their rights, to demand urgent action from the federal government before the situation even get worse and further, or worse than this. Because at this point, with the volume of money already spent on that road and the sheer historical significance of this road, before it gets worse than this, I hope something is being done. The Minister of Works, David Umahi, could look into this. I mean, there have been calls to say rather than construct new roads, the new roads are very much needed. But the ones we already have, how good are they? How can we use the roads that we already have? Are they working well? Can we ply those roads? Can we assess the roads that we already have? Look at this road now. Can we use it? And then you tell someone that we're constructing another road when this one we are even managing is not well enough. So the government should get on point and get on this. So you can let us know. We will take your messages and probably just take one or two calls right now. We can probably take your call. Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning, Miriam.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, my guy in the studio.
Good morning to you.
The Lord bless you all for this wonderful work and contributions and meaningful, information you bring on the platform every day.
Thank you. God bless you
On
too.
the issue of this road, or a road and all that, and other roads, not only Ore. You see, I agree with some analysts that say that the easiest way or easiest form of stealing money in Nigeria is road construction, especially road construction. Because our roads are the most expensive in the whole world, according to analysts. But in this case, any road that is a major road, that is the eye, is a spot, is difficult to compromise because everybody is watching. So from the narrative, I can understand that this road has been having issues. They will come, they will fix, and maybe after some years, it comes back again. Now, I want to shift attention from the construction and the road, works being carried out on this road. I want to go into the community, we, the people. You see, we have this bad habit of blocking the drainage system in the community, and water has a way of finding its way. When you block the drainages in the community and the flood occurs, it finds its way to anywhere. I want to believe that this thing that happened to Ore Road is not because of the bad road man or the drainage system on the road. It should be from within those living in the community that have used, refuse to block the drainages. I want to believe that. Then may God give us understanding. I believe the government have heard, they have listened, and they will come to the rescue. May God help us all. Thank you very much,
You didn't
Miriam,
tell
and
us your name and
my
your
brother in the
location.
studio.
Oh, I guess I missed
You
out on
didn't
that, but
get that one.
I made some very strong points as well.
Yes, it did.
Everyone is definitely part of the conversation. Government, and I mean the Nigerian people as well. You can't keep calling out the government when you're doing things that's making the situation worse.
If you say, yes, let's look at the villages as well. They are also contributing, blocking drainages. It's a job of the contractor who has not been contracted to do the job. I mean, you've been told to go do the same road that you know that has had issues over the years. So what do? You go brother into it. Let's even see why this road not even they agree for us to repair. Let's start from there. Then go into the villages, the local governments, talk to the villages, talk to the government of that state. Go there and find out where is even the root, what's causing this. You're the contractors. You're very much more, I mean, you understand your roads better because it's your job. You do it and you do it well, right? So let's do our job. When we do our job better, Nigeria will be better.